Manchester United have made their first bid for Darwin Nunez. This is a deal that is said to be close to completion by a number of journalists in the space of the past week. There's been a number of different reports of it varying from around 75 million euros, including up to 20 million pounds in bonuses with a player included. Now, we know that Liverpool are also interested in Nunez. It hasn't been as widely reported as the Manchester United links. It very rarely is from the British press when it comes to the Anfield outfit. But they are pressing, they are talking to the player. A number of the bookmakers have Liverpool still as favourites, and of course they do. Champions League finalists, challenging for league titles, the team at the peak of its powers, the best Liverpool team since the 80s, with Jurgen Klopp at the helm, is currently underway. But Manchester United have turned the head of Darwin Nunez. The project that Erik ten Hag is building is starting to convince a lot of these players. Now, the initial bid made, whether it's official or unofficial, doesn't really matter. United are using intermediaries. It's one that's very close to what Benfica would consider to be an acceptable amount of money in its entirety. We're going to delve into that in a little bit more detail for you. Liverpool fighting for Darwin Nunez. Man United make the first bid. This deal is getting closer and closer by the day. Smash the like and share button. Subscribe now to the Football Terrace. Let's do this.
The update I got last week on Darwin was like, look, this guy is somebody that United like a lot. They do feel confident that they can get him. The person actually was more assured than that. He said he felt it was close. He felt it was close to a breakthrough and this could happen. He said there is a feeling that Atletico Madrid are the biggest threat, though. There's a feeling that might be where he ends up. So let's see how it pans out from here. I mean, just taking him at his word there. So, which is all you can really do as a journalist. You're trusting other people who are in and around these actual conversations. There's no doubt that this is the signing that United would want early. Like, this guy lifts morale and he lifts the levels around Old Trafford. Scored 34 times last season. He's 22 years old. His goals in the Champions League that he got came against Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Ajax, Liverpool. Like, he's been at Benfica, yes, but when he's posed against defenses of the highest caliber, he's delivered. That's enough.
Dean Jones on the Done Deal show just 4 or 5 days ago now, talking about this deal and the speed of which the deal has taken shape. Dean Jones, the first British journalist to really talk with authority about Manchester United's pursuit of Darwin Nunez, close to being done. Ati being looked at as a team that are a real threat to Man United. Liverpool now emerging as one of the teams that could push Manchester United aside. Of course, the Independent reporting that the striker is understood to have favoured a move to Liverpool up to now, but his camp are prepared to listen to Manchester United. That's kind of, for me, a little bit of old news being pushed out as it stands right now. Man United have been working on this deal very, very, very intensely over the past few weeks. It's a deal they think they can get done quickly. It's a deal they think they can get over the line. And as Dean said on Monday, Ben Jacobs also echoed this on Tuesday on the Done Deal show, the lack of Champions League football isn't the issue. Manchester United is still a powerhouse. Manchester United still have Paul. Erik ten Hag still has Paul. So there's a lot of positivity around United. They can get this deal done. It is very close. And when we speak about being close, the talks are advanced. The process is advanced. Personal terms will be no issue for this player. All that's really happening now is two things. The player hasn't totally agreed to join. Even the personal terms element, in terms of how much you'll get paid, bonuses, that is not going to be a problem. There is still this element of who else may come in for me. I do want to wait and see if a Liverpool, if an Atletico shows real genuine interest. And when we say real genuine interest, we're talking about actually speaking to Benfica about the deal. There's some loose reports that Liverpool have made a bid, I am told that that is not true at this point. I'm recording this at like 2:30 on the 4th of June. That could change by the time you see this video. But as of now, there is no talk of Liverpool or Atletico making any official approach to Benfica. Manchester United are doing that. Yes, they're talking via an intermediary, but they're speaking to Benfica. That's going on. Things like that are very important to players. Man United are very close, or extremely close, pretty close, whichever kind of phrase you want to use. The process is advanced. Most work's done with the player. Of course, now Benfica and Man United are working on the negotiations. There is some talk, again, in the media in the past 12 hours or so of fees in excess of 100 million euros. Now, what you've got to factor in there is that's going to be inclusive of bonuses. There'll be 20 to 30 million euros of bonuses, which will include things like winning Premier Leagues and winning Champions Leagues. So, again, this player, and again, within that, there's always sub-clauses. So, it's United win a Premier League and Darwin Nunez plays in 85% of the games or starts 70% of the games, as an example, or scores a certain amount of goals, whatever it may be. They're not ever as basic as just win the league. There's always kind of a caveat to them in many, many ways. I've seen some of these contracts. They're quite detailed. They're quite interesting as well. On top of that, there could be a player swap deal included. So the entirety might be 100 million euros. By the way, including salary. But the base standard fee will be somewhere in the region of 55 to 60 million pounds that United are guaranteed to have to pay to Benfica for this player. And it represents a fairly healthy deal in many ways. It isn't overly extortionate. It's not going to cost too much money. It isn't going to bankrupt Manchester United's budget. Now, I know a lot of people have got varying opinions on how good or bad Darwin Nunez is. Dean, speaking there, as you all saw, very, very positive about him. Very positive indeed. Thinks he's the right type of player for Man United. I've said the whole time I'm on the fence. I've seen him play. I've seen some brilliant things. I've seen some poor things. What I'm encouraged about, when we go back and look at Delaney's piece, Darwin Nunez has been name-checked by Erik ten Hag as a top target for Man United. Now, Miguel Delaney is, of course, credible, verified journalist we've all heard of. It echoes exactly what Dean and exactly what Ben Jacobs told you all on the Football Terrace this week before any other journalists in the world. This is an Erik ten Hag signing. Just like De Jong, just like Timber, these are players that Erik ten Hag is pushing Manchester United towards. I want these individuals to make my team, my system work. I want these individuals to bring my project to life. I want these to be the signings we make to get the juices flowing in the squad, to give the fans a bit more excitement, but also the technical ability and physicality to be able to deliver. So my opinion, I'm a bit worried about the touch and I'm a bit worried about the rawness of Darwin. I'm going to push that to the back of my mind purely and simply because Erik ten Hag believes in this player. Erik ten Hag has been scouting and watching this individual for a substantial amount of time. And I think as a football fan, if you're excited about Erik ten Hag and you rate Erik ten Hag, then put your own opinion aside for a minute. Put your own opinion aside and say, okay, I'm willing to get behind this deal. At £60 million base, yes, it could rise to 75, 80 million, but that's only if he and United are a huge success. And then, but by the way, let me just say this now. Man United at the end of next season, and I'm being hypothetical here, don't get your knickers in a twist, rivals, don't cry. Oh,
Terry's getting ahead of himself again.
That's not what I'm doing. If Man United at the end of next season won the Premier League and Darwin Nunez was the top goal scorer and we had to pay a £15 million bonus, who would care? There wouldn't be a single Manchester United fan worth his salt, her salt, their salt. No boy, no girl, nothing, nobody. Not a single individual person that supports and loves Man United would give two flying Fs. They wouldn't care. Why would they care? What fool would care about that? Don't worry about the total potential cost because it's only going to happen if Man United is successful. And we want it, don't we? We want it. It's going to be intriguing to see what happens going into next week. International football, of course, is still on. So don't expect any of these deals to be complete, as in player holding a shirt in the next 7 to 10 days. What you may get with a few of these deals, if Darwin Nunez gives the green light and says, I'm happy with every element of the Man United project, and Benfica and Man United come to an agreement, you may get like a holding message, a tweet, an Insta post, something on the website saying we've come to an agreement. That may happen in the next 7 to 10 days. But what you're more likely to see is the deals completed after the international breaks, maybe after the players have had their 2 or 3 weeks holiday. Remember, the Man United team in just over 3 weeks are back to training. And Erik ten Hag is going to want his new signings there from the beginning. It's going to be very, very important indeed. But listen, I want your takes. I want your thoughts. I want your feelings. You're the most important part of the football terrace. Until next time, everybody, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Thank you.